Wagwan. All right. I don't know, maybe, I'm guessing 15 years ago, I started thinking about entanglement, and because I, I sort of understand classical physics as opposed to quantum mechanics, which I'm a layperson. I don't understand that stuff. It's way beyond me. But I tried to think of a way that it could make sense. So let's take entanglement with a situation or an example where two photons are created in, I don't know, maybe it's called a singlet state, I don't know. And they travel in opposite directions with opposite momentum and opposite spin. And at some point, there's our Alice and our Bob many, many light years apart. And the thing about quantum mechanics, as I understand it, is that the the photon heading toward Alice could be spin up, could be spin down, but it's not either one necessarily. It's not spin up, it's not spin down, it's neither, and it's not both. So that's confusing. What it is, it's like a probability. So we have, at some point, Alice measures that photon, and that's the, I guess, the collapse of the wave function, and now it's spin up, and at that instant, the one that Bob could measure right now, it's going to be spin down. So it's fixed. And that apparently, I guess, the EPR paradox or something, that's going to either break locality or realism, one or the other. So what I thought was a way to think about it is at at day one in the universe of the Big Bang version of the universe, everything was, I guess, in a singularity. So at some point, our universe was a singularity. So if it was once, maybe it could be again. And we have wormholes, maybe. So my thought about entanglement was that when these two photons are traveling out, we have a universe that is on a regular basis collapsing to a singularity via wormholes, and for entangled particles, they sort of swap. So they're through one wormhole and then back out through the other. So these photons that are heading towards Alice and Bob are actually swapping places back and forth. So one of them spin up, the other one spin down, but they could be on either route at any time because the universe is collapsing to a singularity by wormholes and is going back out again. And then eventually, when Alice measures it, it's spin up. That breaks this sort of uh, back and forth via wormholes, and everything everywhere is going with these wormholes down into this singularity and then back out again. And every time it goes back out again, it goes out just a little bit farther than it used to be. So we have this expanding universe at the same time. So we can figure that in, and maybe and that opens up the possibility of the multiverse, because when it collapses and then it goes back out again, maybe it goes out a little bit different to another universe, one of the multiverses. So in our universe, well, we're gone now. It's somebody else's. Then it collapses again, it comes back out again, and now it's us an instant later, however often this collapsing takes place. And so there we go, and that's where I say, okay, now we got a big job that somebody's got to keep track of how these, where all these wormholes are going, with every particle has a wormhole and everything goes back out again, and so that's where I say, well, that's a job for God, that because we can't understand, I can't understand that, so you just make up a reason for it. What else was there? It may be radioactivity, when everything comes back out a little bit farther apart for a normal kind of, say, a regular element. or sodium, potassium, or something like that. That little bit apart, the say the strong force holds it together again. When you get big enough for a radioactive particle, because everything is a little bit farther apart, maybe every once in a while, the strong force doesn't grab everything, pull it back together. And so you have a, I don't know, alpha particle or something jumping out from there. And like I say, this is just what I thought about it. It has no basis in reality, and I don't pretend that it does. It just makes it easier to think about, that's all. So those of you who gave me a click, thank you very much. Those of you who didn't,